technically, we cannot live in the past or we cannot be alive in the future. When we are saying that I am alive, that means I am. Even see the grammar over there. It's saying now. That means your body and mind is working now. That's why you are alive. So now the definition of life is clear, right? Life means what? We also express our heartfelt appreciation to Venerable Bhante Panyakaro, widely recognized today as a peace icon, whose tireless efforts continue to inspire harmony, understanding, and unity across the world through the Work for Peace movement. May all the venerable monks of the Work for Peace group, along with our idol of kindness, the most venerable Mahadham Pomasa, all members of the team, and our most precious Aloka, the little peacemaker and bundle of joy, always be safe and secure, be showered with wisdom, and continue their noble journey for peace until the Nibbana. Today, we are not simply attending a program. We are participating in a living expression of the Buddha's timeless legacy. The grand ceremony centered around the sacred Buddha relics, the Jai Shri Mahabodhi sapling, the chanting of the Tipitaka, and the joyous celebration of Vesak brings together the essence of devotion, wisdom, and compassion. The relic exhibition allows us to connect deeply with the Blessed One, the fully enlightened Buddha. The chanting of the Tipitaka reserves and resonates the very words of the Dhamma, echoing across generations. The Vesak reminds us the Buddha's birth, enlightenment, and the Mahaparinibbana, the great events that forever changed the course of human history. As we reflect on this sacred occasion, we are reminded that Buddhism isn't bounded by time. It is a never-ending legacy. From the time of the Buddha, the Dhamma has endured through countless challenges, rising and falling across region, yet never disappearing. Bangladesh, our beloved homeland, has been an important part of this spiritual journey. In ancient times, it was closely connected with Jambudvipa, the great land we now know as India, where the Buddha walked and taught. The roots of Buddhism in Bengal run deep and ancient. We remember with great pride the Venerable Bangisha, we know him as Bangantaputta, believed to have origins connected to the region of Banga, or now Bengal. His presence in the Buddha's time reminds us that the light of the Dhamma reached our lands even in those earliest days. In later centuries, Bangladesh gave birth to one of the greatest luminaries of Buddhist history, Atisha Dipankara Srigyana. From the soil of Bengal, he rose to become a great teacher who carried the light of the Dhamma to Tibet. He revitalized Buddhism and guided countless beings on the path to liberation. His legacy continues to shine brightly across the Himalayan world and beyond. We also remember the great Pala dynasty under whose patronage Buddhism reached extraordinary heights. During that golden era, great monastery universities such as Sompura Mahavihara and other great centers of learning thrived in what is now modern Bangladesh. These institutions were among the greatest in the world, attracting scholars, monks, and seekers from distant lands. They were beacons of wisdom, preserving and spreading the Dhamma across Asia. Today in modern Bangladesh, Chittagong stands as the heartland of Buddhist life. The very name Chattogram is believed to have evolved from Chetiagama, meaning the village or land of stupas. This reminds us of a time when the land was filled with sacred monuments, centers of worship, and flourishing Buddhist communities. Even through periods of decline and hardship, the flame of Buddhism in Bangladesh never went out. It continued to live in the hearts of devoted people, passed down from generation to generation with faith and resilience. In more recent times, we were deeply honored to have contributed to the global Buddhist community by offering sacred hair relics from Bangladesh to Sri Lanka, strengthening the spiritual bond between our nations. And today, through the great efforts of the Sangha and devotees, some of these sacred hair relics have journeyed from Sri Lanka to the United States of America. To witness their presence here is both rare and extraordinary. We feel immense pride and gratitude to be part of this sacred connection from Bangladesh to Sri Lanka and now to America. It is a powerful reminder that the Dhamma transcends all borders, uniting people across continents in faith and devotion. On this auspicious occasion, we would like to express our deepest gratitude to the Venerable Mahasangha from different countries, the organizers, generous donors, volunteers, and every supporters. Your tireless efforts, sacrifices, and unwavering devotion have made this grand ceremony possible. Because of you, countless beings have the opportunity to pay homage, to cultivate merit, and to deepen their understanding of the Buddha's teachings. May this celebration be a great success. May it bring peace, harmony, and wisdom to all who participate. May the blessing of the Triple Gem spread far and wide, touching the hearts of all beings. So, actually, that was the official speech on behalf of Bangladeshi Sangha community. So now I think I'm feeling more okay. So what I was chanting the stanzas from Dhammapada. That was the verses 11 and 12, where Buddha was saying, Asare saramatino sarecha saradasinu. So Buddha was saying that those who take unessential as essential and see the essential as unessential, they do not reach or realize the truth because they are under the control of wrong thoughts or intentions. Believe me, I'm really feeling guilty for not speaking Vietnamese and being a travel for Bante. Sorry for that. So whatever. So another stanza is saying that those who know the essential as essential and unessential as unessential, they're able to see the truth or realize the truth. Why? Because they're guided by Sammaditya, the right view. That's what we say. That's what the Buddha said on those, or into those gathas or stanzas. Do we really know what is essential and what is unessential? Do we?
Và chúng ta
So that's why when one of the monks from our community was asking me for a Dhamma talk, he asked me to choose a topic. So I was thinking, what should I choose? Then all of a sudden, that idea popped up in my head. The gatha, the stanzas. Then I came up saying that true peace through seeing things in the way they are. When I said things in the way they are, that means the essential things. I mean, finding real peace, seeing the essential thing, what is need to be seen. So actually it's very tough because I think that's my second time my speech getting translated. And thank you, Venerable. So, see, when we are talking about essential thing, we have to be very specific. When you're talking about life, we need peace in our life. What do you mean by life? Buddha said life means the combination of 5 aggregates. See, we call in Pali Panchakanda. The 5 aggregates, when they combine together and make a moment, that is a living moment. And a bunch of living moment, continuous living moment, makes or make a life. So if I ask you, or if anybody asks us, or me, or everyone, like, are you alive? Our answer would be like, yeah, I am alive. So if I ask you guys again, when you are alive, what you going to say? So life means, or living means, just in the present moment. Technically, we cannot live in the past, or we cannot be alive in the future. When we are saying that I am alive, that means I am. Even see the grammar over there. It's saying now. That means your body and mind is working now. That's why you are alive. So now, the definition of life is clear, right? Life means what? The now moment. So we have to figure out what is essential in our life. So technically, we are seeking what is essential in this now moment. So when we are talking about the now moment, Buddha said, what do we have in the now moment? Buddha said, it's an energy. Now moment means an energy that is working, right? That's why we are experiencing and everything. That's why we are, we are alive. So what do we have in the now moment? Previously I mentioned that 5 aggregates, right? We're going to talk about that. So all of you can see me? All of you? If all of you, I hope all of your eyes are very good. It's still working, even though with the glasses, right? So you can see me, right? So let's explain that. Have an analogy behind the scene, what's going on. So we have eyes, and in front of your eyes, we have a form that is Bhante Visuddhi here with a speaker trying to explain you something, right? So when your eyes contact to the form, create an energy. That is the now moment, what you are having. So that means when the sense base meet the sense object, they create an energy. That's what we call mind. So technically, eyes just see, but mind knows. Consciousness concerns. Okay? Then thinker thinks. Whatever you see through the eyes, mind knows. That's why Buddha said, manasi karoti mana. That means what focus, that is the energy that focus, that is mind. The energy that concerns at the object, that's consciousness. The energy that thinks about the object, that is the thinker. Buddha said in Pali, I don't know you're going to understand that or not, but I already explained that. Buddha said in Pali, Chakkuncha paticha rupecha uppajjati chakkuviyanam. That means eye and visual object, when they get to contact to each other, when they contact each other, they arise the consciousness, eye consciousness. That eye consciousness is living moment. And also, when we hear the ear, when hear something, there arises hearing consciousness or hearing consciousness. That's also living moment. When we smell something, the nose smells something, the combination of both, they create a smelling consciousness. That's also the now moment. So, technically, what we are seeing, what we are hearing, what we are smelling, what we are tasting, what we are touching, and also what we are thinking. That's not just thinking, that's not just tasting or the mere thing. That's a combination of three things. What is that? Sense basis, sense object, and the energy created by themselves at a time. So, when the consciousness arises, it has three friends with it. See, when we are seeing something, we have feelings. We can feel, right? I mean, we have either good feeling or bad feeling. We can perceive whatever we see, we recognize, right? Good or bad, whatever, long, short, the color. Also, based on the object you are seeing or your habitation, what are you used to? We say chetana or sankhara, mental formation. You like to think. Like, see, when the Walk for Peace program was going on, so many people were, almost all of them were very positive, right? But some of them, they couldn't take it. Why? Because of their formation. All people are not same. If I see red, my reaction gonna be according to my behavior. If you see red, your reaction gonna be different. So, when the consciousness arises, it has three things with it. One is feeling. When we see something, we feel either good, bad, or neutral. And we perceive, we recognize it through our own formation. And we also like to think on that. Whatever we see, we like to think in ourselves according to our habitation. So, now my question is, see, we already explain, or I think we already understand the now moment, right? What do you have? In the now moment, we have 5 aggregates, right? We have our sense base and sense object. And when they get to each other, contact each other, they create an energy. And then energy is now moment. That's the thing. That's clear. Now the question is, today, how many times you use your eyes and how many objects you saw? Any idea? How many sounds you hear? I'm not asking how many sounds you listen to. I'm just asking how many sounds you hear. While having all those foods from different communities, different devotees, all were very tasty, right? How many tastes you recognized? So that means we were not mindful, right? While seeing, we were not mindful. When listening to or hearing, we were not mindful. When tasting something, we are not mindful. Do you know what does it mean? Buddha said, Appamado amantapadang, pamado machuno padang. That means kind of like, when you are not mindful, you are like that. See, technically it's quite similar. We are getting to the point. When we are not mindful, we are not at the now moment. That means you are not alive. The life was there, but you were not enjoying that. So see, always remember, mind always knows what is coming through 6 sense bases. But that kind of knowing, it's mere knowing. We are talking about mindfulness. Even though when we are sleeping, right, when we sleep, our mind still works. That we call subconscious mind, right? That's why we have dreams, so many dreams nowadays, right? Even you are here, mind is somewhere else, maybe at home, maybe thinking about something else. But see, mind knows where or on what that is focusing. But we are talking about mindfulness. Being mindful, that means being alive. So, when we feel something, mind knows, right? When we experience something, mind knows, but not being mindful. That's a different thing. So why we are talking about that? What happens when we are not mindful? See, we are coming to the point again. When we are not mindful, we lose that sense, the reality of the feelings too, of all those experiences too. So, if we look at the street just next to us, what do we see? We see bunch of cars, right? Different brands, different sizes, many brands, right? In the United States, like what? Mercedes, then what? BMW, Toyota, then Nissan, and we have more, Tesla, right? Autopilot, right? We can see them, right? So what do we see? Just the cars, different colors too, right? We see them? So what do we see? Just the colors, the size, or sizes, or the brands. Do you think what we are seeing, that is the real thing we are seeing? What is the nature of those cars? So, can anyone tell me what we are seeing on the street? What is the nature of all those cars? See, that's what the Buddha called essential. Even though during the time of the Buddha, there were no cars, right? But seeing the nature of the cars, what is the nature of the cars? They are never stopping. On the street, they're just coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. Doesn't matter what brands, doesn't matter what sizes, doesn't matter is it autopilot or anything, right? Doesn't matter. The law is the car cannot stop on the street. Even though sometimes you have to put emergency for a while. After a while, you have to leave. That's the nature. That's the law. So another funny question that just popped up in my head.
In the heart of Fort Worth, Texas, an extraordinary convergence of ancient spiritual heritage and contemporary life recently took place at the Hongdao Vipassana Bhavana Center. It was a gathering marked by profound historical and spiritual weight, celebrating the arrival of sacred Buddha relics and a sapling from the revered Jaya Sri Maha Bodhi tree, uniting the faithful in the joyous observance of Vesak. This momentous occasion, weaving together the spiritual lineages of India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and the United States, served as the backdrop for a deeply transformative discourse by Venerable Visuddhivamso. A seasoned meditation teacher with 12 years in the monastic life, Venerable Visuddhivamso brought the timeless wisdom of the Theravada tradition into a modern, accessible context. His central message was both staggeringly simple and infinitely complex. True, unshakable peace can only be found by stripping away our illusions and learning to see things exactly as they are, rooted entirely in the reality of the present moment. The foundation of this profound exploration began with the resonant chanting of verses 11 and 12 from the Dhammapada, an ancient text containing the core teachings of the Buddha. The verses declare that those who mistake the unessential for the essential, and who fail to recognize what is truly essential, will never arrive at the truth, forever trapped by the machinations of wrong intentions. Conversely, those who can clearly discern the essential from the unessential, guided by right concentration and right view, naturally gravitate toward the truth. For a modern American audience, constantly bombarded by the demands of a fast-paced, consumer-driven society, this distinction is crucial. We frequently build our lives around the unessential, chasing after material wealth, social status, and external validation, or remaining emotionally tethered to past traumas and future anxieties. These are constructs, phantoms of the mind that have no solid grounding in reality. The essential, therefore, is not a metaphysical destination but a state of radical, unclouded perception. It is the ability to look at the unfolding of reality without the distorting lenses of our biases, desires, and fears. To understand what is truly essential, one must first confront the fundamental question of what it means to be alive. If asked, anyone would readily affirm their own vitality, yet the nature of this life is rarely scrutinized. Through the lens of Buddhist philosophy, particularly the intricate psychological framework of the Abhidhamma, life is not a linear, decades-long narrative. It is not a continuous block of time stretching from birth to death. Instead, life is understood as a dynamic, momentary combination of the five aggregates, or the Panchakhanda: form, feeling, perception, mental formations, and consciousness. These components come together in a microscopic fraction of a second to create a single, living moment. A continuous, incredibly rapid succession of these living moments is what creates the illusion of a solid, enduring self, much like how individual frames of a film roll together to create a moving picture. This realization leads to a jarring but liberating truth: we cannot actually live in the past, nor can we be alive in the future. The past is a memory, a neurological echo of a moment that has already expired. The future is an imagination, a projection of a moment that has not yet come into existence. When a person states, "I am alive," the very grammar of the sentence anchors them to the present. The body and mind are functioning strictly in the now. Therefore, the literal definition of living is entirely confined to the present moment. To search for peace or meaning anywhere else but in the reality of the now is a futile endeavor, a pursuit of ghosts. If life exists only in the present moment, we must ask what exactly constitutes this moment. Venerable Visuddhivamsa eloquently described the present moment as a manifestation of energy. This energy is generated through a highly specific cognitive mechanism that occurs every time we interact with the world. Consider the simple act of seeing. We possess the physical sensory organ, the eye, and out in the world, there are forms and objects. When the eye makes contact with a form, an energy is created. This contact sparks the arising of eye consciousness. It is a vital distinction to make that the eye itself only registers light and shape. It is the mind that actually knows and processes the image. This directed energy of the mind, the focusing upon the object, is what brings the world into our subjective reality. However, this moment of consciousness never arises alone. Whenever a sensory interaction occurs, whether it is seeing a sight, hearing a sound, or thinking a thought, consciousness is instantly accompanied by three distinct mental companions. The first is feeling, or vedana, which evaluates the experience as pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. The second is perception, or sana, which functions as the mind's recognition software, identifying the object based on past experiences, recognizing a shape as a car, or a color as red. The third, and perhaps most complex, is mental formation, or sankhara. This represents our conditioned responses, our habitual reactions, and our volitional tendencies. Because of sankhara, two people can witness the exact same event and have entirely different experiences. One might see a public demonstration for peace and feel inspired, while another, viewing it through a different lens of mental conditioning, might feel cynical or irritated. Our experience of the world is deeply colored by these internal formations. The tragedy of the human condition is that we navigate this intricate, miraculous process of moment-to-moment existence in a state of chronic distraction. We are physically present, yet psychologically absent. The Venerable posed piercing questions to illustrate this. How many times did you use your eyes today? And how many objects did you truly see? How many distinct sounds did you actually hear? While eating meals prepared with great care, how many flavors were you vividly aware of? The honest answer for most of us is remarkably few. We operate on autopilot, consuming the world around us without genuine awareness. In Buddhist terms, this lack of mindfulness is known as pamada, which the scriptures starkly equate to a state resembling death. When we are not mindful, we are missing the now moment. Our heart may be beating, but we are not fully alive to the experience of living. Even our subconscious mind operates constantly, processing dreams and background information, but mere functioning is not the same as the bright, illuminating presence of mindfulness. To transition from a state of sleepwalking to true, vibrant life requires us to strip away the unessential and view the world through the lens of ultimate reality. A powerful metaphor illustrates this perfectly. If one were to stand outside the meditation center and observe the street, they would see a steady stream of cars. Through conventional reality, the unmindful observer sees brands, statuses, and concepts: a red Tesla, a sleek Mercedes, an old sedan. They might feel a pang of desire for one or judgment toward another. But if one applies the mindful gaze of seeing things as they are, the labels dissolve. What remains is the essential nature of the scene, a continuous, unstoppable flow of objects arising in the field of vision and subsequently passing away. The cars cannot stop permanently on the street. The fundamental law of the road is motion. This observation of the street is a profound mirror for our internal landscape. Just like the cars, our thoughts, our physical sensations, our moments of joy, and our episodes of deep sorrow are merely phenomena entering the space of our awareness and inevitably passing away. They are temporary manifestations of energy. When we are caught up in the unessential, we try to grab onto the pleasant cars and furiously try to block the unpleasant ones, causing immense internal suffering and friction. We lose our peace because we are fighting the fundamental law of nature, which is impermanence. Ultimately, the journey toward real peace is not a journey to a distant, tranquil location, nor is it the creation of a mind completely void of thought. Real peace is cultivated right here, in the noisy, complex reality of the present moment. It is achieved by developing the mindfulness to stand firmly in the now, observing the intricate dance of the five aggregates without being swept away by them. By understanding that we cannot live in the ghosts of the past or the fantasies of the future, we reclaim the only thing we have ever truly possessed: this very breath, this exact moment. When we finally learn to look at our lives, our joys, our pains, and our mundane daily routines, with the clear, unattached awareness that sees the essential nature of all things, the struggle ceases. We align ourselves with the truth of existence, and in that profound alignment, we discover a peace that is unshakable, enduring, and supremely real.